Shinto Unveiled. 5 little-known principles that connect you to nature and the sacred. What if I told you that maybe what's missing in your life isn't more information, more productivity, or more control, but something much simpler and much deeper? Maybe what you're searching for is reconnection. Not with the internet, with goals, or with ideals of success, but with the earth beneath your feet, with the air that silently enters your lungs, with the invisible space that exists between each breath, with what you feel but don't know how to name. If you've ever felt that there is something sacred in nature, something alive in silence, something true in what is simple, then you're already ready. Welcome to Axiom Sage. Here, every word is an invitation to clarity. Every pause is a portal inward, and every video is a reminder that the sacred isn't out there, it's in the now. Today, I want to take you to a place that doesn't appear on maps, but it lives very close to you. Shinto is an ancient, Japanese, natural, silent path, and within it, we find principles that weren't made to convince anyone. They were made to remind you of what you already know. Maybe you've never studied Shinto. Maybe you've only heard about it briefly. Red temples, mysterious gates. But what we're going to explore here is not religion. It's perception. 5 little-known principles. 5 ways of seeing the world through new eyes. And of feeling what you may already be feeling but haven't yet been able to name. 5 keys to reconnect with nature and with the sacred. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter your story. All that matters is whether you still feel something when you hear the sound of the wind, when you touch a cold stone, when you watch a falling leaf. If so, this video is for you. The first principle I want to show you is simple, but powerful. It's the foundation of everything. And it begins with a question. Do you feel clean? Not on the outside, on the inside. Do you feel spaciousness between your thoughts? Lightness when you wake up? Or have you been carrying invisible pressures, tensions you don't even know where they come from? The first principle is purity. In Shinto, purity is not moral. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about being light. It's like washing your hands before touching something sacred. It's like cleaning the altar before lighting a candle. It's like preparing your body before entering a quiet place. In ancient times, the Japanese purified themselves before approaching the kami, the spirits of nature. They washed their hands, rinsed their mouths, and left behind the excess. Not because they were dirty, but because they wanted to arrive whole. When was the last time you did that? When did you wash yourself before meditating or before speaking to someone you love? When did you cleanse not just your skin, but your intentions? The mind gets dirty too, from stimuli, from comparison, from noise. And all of this creates weight. It blocks the ability to feel. You can notice when you're anxious, your breathing shortens. Your body becomes rigid. Your mind speeds up, and everything becomes heavy. Now, imagine if you could purify your mind each morning. Not with force, with gentleness. Like water running over a stone. No ruse, no noise, just presence. Purity in Shinto is the beginning of everything. Because only when we cleanse what is not essential can we truly touch what is essential. And maybe the essential is closer than you think. Breathe now, effortlessly. Feel the air entering. And imagine it washing away everything that's excessive inside you. The image is simple. You standing before spring. The water flows. You touch this water. Bring it to your face. Wash your eyes. Wash your forehead. Wash your hands. And in that moment, something is released. It's a small ritual, but it's not empty. It says, I am here. I want to see clearly. I choose presence. Now, I want to invite you to a simple practice. If you're at home, go to a sink or prepare a small bowl with clean water. Touch this water with intention. Wet your hands. Feel the temperature. Notice the texture. And as you do, mentally repeat. I purify my mind. I create space for the new. Then, bring the water to your face. Take a deep breath and say, I let go of what no longer serves me. I return to myself. This is the first portal, and you need nothing more. Just yourself, the water, and presence. Now listen carefully. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to return to who you already are, but forgot in the midst of haste. And Maybe the next principle will help you with that even more. Reverence. This word might seem distant, religious, ancient, but in truth, it is intimate. Reverence is the art of realizing that everything has a soul. It's looking at a tree as you would look at a master. It's seeing the sky as an open altar. It's hearing the sound of the wind as if you're hearing a teaching. When did you lose this? Maybe when you started seeing nature as a backdrop. When the city's noise became the natural background. When the world became a resource, no longer presence. But it's all still there, waiting for you to remember. Have you ever felt a shiver when entering a forest? Have you ever cried looking at the sea? Have you ever fallen silent, watching a leaf dance with the wind? That is reverence, and it doesn't require belief, only listening. The ancient Japanese said that the kami, the spirits of nature, are everywhere. In the stone, in the river, in the fire, in time. And even if you don't believe in spirits, you can feel that there's something there. Something that can't be explained with logic, but that touches you. And the most beautiful part, you are part of this too. Your body is nature. Your blood is the sea. Your breath is the wind. So reverence is also looking at yourself with that same respect. Now, I want to invite you to a pause. Close your eyes if you can. Bring to mind the image of a place in nature that deeply touches you. It can be real or imagined. An open field, a mountain, a lake. Feel yourself there. And now, in your mind's eye, gently bow as if you were giving thanks. Mentally say, I recognize the sacred in you, and I recognize the sacred in me. Notice how this changes your breathing. This is reverence. Simple, powerful, silent, and deeply transformative. You've already cleansed. You've already looked with reverence. Now, let's remember those who came before. If these words have touched something in you, if this is being transformative, consider subscribing to the Axiom Sage channel. Here, we deeply explore Eastern wisdom in a practical, human, and welcoming way. Click subscribe and activate the bell. That way, you can join our weekly journeys of transformation and serenity. Are you ready to continue? Breathe and come with me. Have you ever asked yourself where you came from? Whose voices, memories, and choices you are the guardian of? The next principle speaks about this. Ancestry. It's not about worshiping ancestors, nor about tracing lineage or genetic history. It's about recognizing that every breath you take is possible because someone lived before you. That the seeds now sprouting within you grew in soil made of stories, affections, and survival. When we honor those who came before us, we create dignity for our own existence. Imagine a tree with deep roots. Even in a storm, it does not fall because it is supported by what cannot be seen. You're like this too. Your resilience and clarity do not come from nowhere. They come from a purpose that transcends time. Your choices cultivate an entire web of future. So close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath and imagine the invisible lines connecting you to those who came before. Think about the wisdom you carry, even without realizing it. In habits, in words, in fears, in dreams. All of it arrives in you as inheritance and also as calling. Now mentally repeat, I honor those who planted the path that brought me here. I receive the strength and the permission to be responsible for moving forward. And notice, you can embody this recognition in every ordinary gesture of your day. When walking around your home, when caring for a plant, when cooking, when breathing. It is possible to awaken this awareness without ceremonies, only with presence. After ancestry, there's a natural step toward harmony. In Shinto, harmony is not a goal, it is the path. It is the way of moving with the world around you, without forcing, without resistance. It is flowing with the silent symphony present in all things, in the rhythm of the sea, the shapes of the clouds, the beat of your own heart. Have you ever felt the exact moment when everything falls into place? Maybe in a deep conversation, in a sunrise, in a quiet afternoon? That is the moment when you stop fighting and allow things to simply be. Harmony is adjusting. It is realizing that the breeze has its purpose, the river has its path, the stone has its presence. And you, with your body and mind, have yours too. Now, an exercise. Choose a natural object. It can be a stone, a twig, a petal. Hold it carefully. Feel its texture, its temperature, its weight. Observe how it exists in the world, independently of you. Nothing to judge, nothing to force. Just observe. And then breathe together with this object. Imagine synchronizing your breath with the invisible rhythm that exists within it. There, you feel the texture of harmony, not commanded but perceived, not imposed but sensed. You have already honored those who came before. You have aligned yourself with the rhythm of the world. Now, we approach the final principle we will reveal, something that helps turn presence into a conscious path. Ku, which means transformation, to return, to change, to be reborn. Transformation in Shinto is not about drama. It is not rupture. It is a return to center, like a river curving around a stone and gracefully moving on. Kiru reminds us that everything transforms, and so do we. And that awakening is not about denying who we were. It is about embracing who we are and choosing who we wish to be from now on. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe and ask yourself, what within me needs to be welcomed before it can be transformed? And then gently acknowledge, I accept that I can surprise myself, that I can change, that I can bloom in a new way. You have already cleansed, already shown reverence, already honored, already felt the unity. Now, place your hand on your heart, feel its rhythm, and notice it's flowing. You are within this greater movement. Breathe, connect, and realize that you are the sound that accompanies this invisible chord. This is the foundation of this moment. 4 principles revealed. Our encounter now becomes an echo within your life. And if you're feeling this, you are awakening to a way of living that is lighter, yet more profound. You have already crossed 4 portals to get here. You have cleansed yourself, not just on the outside, but within. You have shown reverence, not only to the world, but to what it awakens in you. You have recognized your lineage and leaned on the roots that sustain your path. You have attuned yourself to the rhythm of things, to the invisible music of life. Now, something within you begins to shift, not by force, but as a natural consequence. And this is the 5th principle I want to share with you. Kiru. In Japanese, kiru can mean to return, to go back home, or even to change. But here, I want to invite you to feel kiru as the silent act of transforming, without needing to reinvent yourself, without needing to break away from everything, without performance, without spectacle. Transformation, in this sense, is a return to what is essential. It's when you stop running from who you are and instead you draw closer, not to hide, but to reveal yourself with more truth. It's when you stop forcing and begin to bloom. Think of a snake shedding its skin. It doesn't fight the process. It doesn't plan it. It simply feels, and at the right time, what no longer serves naturally falls away. You've lived this before. You've already left behind habits, people, fears, even versions of yourself that once felt final. And now, perhaps, you're ready for another layer to be released. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe gently and silently ask yourself, what within me is asking for space to be born? Don't force an answer. Just listen. Sometimes the new doesn't shout. It whispers. And when you create space with purity, with reverence, with roots, with harmony, it finally finds fertile ground to emerge. You may not notice it now, but you're already changing. Every breath you take is a return. Every conscious pause is a new beginning. There is something beautiful about realizing we don't need to fix everything. That true transformation is not about doing more. It's about returning to what matters. Returning to silence. Returning to the body. Returning to nature. Returning to the sacred. Now, imagine your life with these 5 principles alive, not as rules, but as breath. Purifying the mind before acting. Revering what is in front of you. Honoring those who came before and those who walk beside you. Listening to the rhythm of the world with more gentleness. Allowing the new to unfold naturally without guilt. Imagine what it would be like to begin your day this way. and to end your day with the same awareness, in the same calm rhythm of presence. And this is where we start to step into another dimension. Not just understanding these principles, but embodying them in your mornings, in your conversations, in your pauses, in your silence, in your work, in your touch, in your thoughts. This is the journey we will take next. If up to this point you've felt a sense of lightness, you may still be discovering just how much these principles can touch your practical, emotional, and spiritual life every day, without effort, without pressure, only with truth. From now on, we will take the first steps with these living principles in everyday situations. Not to use Shinto as a tool, but to become part of this way of being. Are you ready to take this step? Take a deep breath and come with me. You can already feel the 5 principles pulsing within you, not as ideas, but as presence. Now let's bring them into the real world, into your moment, your day, your life. 1. Morning purity in every new breath. Wake up gently. Before checking your phone, just breathe. Splash your face with fresh water. This simple gesture is not just to refresh, it is to purify. With your first cup of coffee or tea, simply feel the aroma. Allow the world to enter slowly with reverence. It is in this moment that you say, I choose to begin free from haste. I cleanse what I still carry from yesterday. 2. Paths. Reverence while walking. Whether you're walking to work, driving, cycling, or simply strolling. Just look. See the texture of the pavement. Feel the weight of your body. Listen to the sounds and notice the space between them. Each step is a sacred instant. Each breath, a divine sigh. 3. Interactions, cemeteries of living stories. When you meet someone, breathe before you speak. Ask with presence. Listen with curiosity. And rediscover the beauty of connection, even in silence. The person in front of you is not an obstacle. They're a point of reverence, a living reflection of the connection you cultivate within. 4. Work, harmony in action. At work, whether it's digital or manual, bring attention to the beginning of each task. See what truly needs to be done with quiet intention. Let your hands, your mind, your heart align with what matters without urgency. Choose clarity over pressure. Transform each email you send into an offering of presence. 5. Challenges continuous flow in adversity. When something falls out of place, when the unexpected appears, stop, breathe, recognize the tension, and purify it with your next breath. Remember your ancestors. Keep your body aligned with natural harmony. Know that every challenge is an invitation to Karu, to be reborn now as you walk. 6. Closing the day, integration ritual. At night, breathe, wet your hands, touch your chest, and recognize, I lived, I cleansed, I revered, I honored, I aligned, I grew, even if silently. Preparing for sleep is not just biology. It is sacred. It is a time to give thanks, to rest, and to purify so you can be reborn tomorrow. This whole practice does not require discipline. It requires gentleness. There is no right or wrong. There's presence. And where there is presence, there is already reverence. And where there is reverence, there is already transformation. I invite you to choose one of the 5 principles. Not tomorrow, right now. Make it the center of your day. Today, I want to purify my mind every morning. Today, I want to show reverence when I speak. Today, I want to honor my silent roots. Today, I want to remember harmony as I walk. Today, I want to allow transformation without haste, without pressure. Do it even for brief moments. Close your eyes, breathe, and notice how something inside settles with lightness. That is the beauty of simplicity. You are now the presence you chose to bring. It is in your body. It is in your gaze. It is in your breath. And above all, it is at home. Have you ever felt deep in your chest that you need more than presence? You need impact? Today, I invite you to notice how these 5 principles can transform intimacy, communication, and meaning in each of your gestures. First, Look at someone you love, a friend, a family member, someone who warms your heart. Breathe, and remember the reverence you've been cultivating. Now, ask yourself, do you listen to this person with the same reverence you offer to the trees? Take a pause, even a brief one. Look, welcome the silence. Allow each word the space it deserves, without expectation. This is the principle we are revealing right now: depth in connections. In the modern world, everything moves too fast. Fragmented messages, compressed emotions. Anxiety dances to this rhythm. But when you bring presence, in your gaze, in your touch, in your listening, something shifts. The heart slows down. Tension gives way to calm. Your connection becomes an exchange, not just consumption. You are in a conversation. Notice where your attention is. Is it on what you're going to say or on what is being said? Are you thinking of changing the subject or offering presence? Are you scripting or truly listening? Take 3 breaths before speaking again and use reverence, even if just a small seed, to create space. Allow the other person to reveal themselves in silence, in gestures, in hesitations. When you practice presence through your gaze, it comes back to you. You feel lighter. Your mind calms. The exchange stops being about information and becomes about care. And this nourishes ancestry, because genuine reverence also honors the bonds and stories we carry. This conscious presence in relation to others opens the path to something even greater, discovering your purpose, the reason why you choose to be here, now. Do you feel this resonating? If so, breathe with me. I am present. I make a difference. Let's move forward. Have you ever felt the silent power of truly being present with another person, of pausing your thoughts to hear what lies beneath their words? Now, imagine bringing that same care to your purpose, to what you do in the world. I'm not talking about grand achievements or ambitious goals. I'm talking about what truly matters to you, whether it's writing, teaching, creating, caring for someone, tending to the earth, or simply keeping silence. Presence applied to purpose transforms everything. And this is where the principles of Shinto shift from concepts into a living essence within your everyday life. The first step, purify what you carry as your purpose. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me today? It doesn't need to be a grand answer. It can be bringing calm to someone, learning something new, writing 200 words of what's alive within me, and mentally say, this is my purpose right now. This gesture clears the excess, isolation, comparison, distraction, and brings clarity to an action with presence. Do what matters with reverence. In practice, this means fully entering the moment, not partially, not in a rush. If you're going to write with presence. Feel the weight of the pen in your hand, the sound of the keys, the rhythm that echoes within. If you're going to care for someone, care with presence. See the other person with full attention. Feel what they feel. Reverence applied to purpose brings dignity, and reverence is contagious. The world responds with less noise and more alignment. Ancestry within your purpose means knowing that what you do today echoes in silent ripples. You may not be an ancient master, but you are carrying echoes of a universe within you. When you act, remember, my gesture now is part of an invisible stream that began before me. This strengthens your action because it gains support and it no longer feels solitary. Simple presence becomes legacy. A purpose in harmony does not force, does not demand. It respects cycles. In summer, it grows. In winter, it rests. It allows slow moments and fast ones. It allows pausing. It allows coming and going. This way, you do not burn out because you walk with time, not against it. And then, every gesture becomes an opportunity to be reborn. To be reborn with joy. To be reborn with lightness. To be reborn with more presence. And in this rebirth, you are refining yourself. Not to please others, but to honor yourself. To honor the soul that lives within you. Imagine you connect with another person. You don't need to change the world, but that person feels that you are there, present, whole, sacred. Imagine You do what matters to you with lightness, attention, clarity. And this gives something precious back. Meaning that ignites intelligence, creativity, lightness. This is the power of purpose with presence, rooted in the 5 principles of Shinto. You are already feeling what these principles are doing to your heart, to your sense of connection, to your sense of meaning. Now, in the next part, we will go deeper into how this reflects in your bigger choices, values, legacy, community. And we will enter a space where what you do begins to resonate beyond yourself, echoing into the world. Breathe, connect, and follow me. As I've walked through these 5 principles with you, purity, reverence, ancestry, harmony, continuous flow, I realize something very special. They don't stay inside. They overflow. And that's why now we need to talk about where this presence also expands into your values, what you believe, and the people you touch. What connects you to others is the subtle echo of your presence. First connection, values that transcend. Values are not words nailed to a wall. They're choices made in the intimacy of a gesture. Do you live with presence? When you speak the truth, even silently. When you stay calm in the midst of chaos. When you say no, even when no one is watching. These are true values, not taught but lived. Second connection, a community of presence. Have you ever felt the magnetic pull of someone who lives with clarity? Presence is contagious, even in silence. It creates space for others to hear themselves. Cultivating presence in your microcosm is offering a gift to those beside you. At work, breathe before responding. At dinner with friends, listen with attention that goes beyond words. In shared silence, let the silence speak. If you're with someone now, offer them your full attention. Look into their eyes, not to judge, but to truly see the life that's there. Feel their human warmth. Notice the pulse, the soft blush, the smile. And say, with presence, I am here, with you. There, you've already manifested a deep value. Third connection, a living legacy. You're not just creating an impact. You are planting legacies, intentions that will live on long after this video fades. Each gesture of presence offers paths for the future. A respectful silence inspires others to listen. A kind word inspires others to speak with kindness. It's like lighting a flame that burns beyond the charcoal. Fourth connection, communion with the natural world. This presence you're living also honors the world. Reverence is not limited to human altars. It happens before the tree, before the river, before the wind, before the silence that rises within the body. You become part of something greater, the very pulse of life. A gentle reverence that spreads like a petal carried by the wind. In the end, all of this is a reflection. The world responds with echoes of presence, kindness, attention, care. Not because of the trend, but because something in you resonates, and something in everyone feels it. If you've chosen to live with these 5 principles with presence and reverence, with ancestral memory, alignment, and continuous flow, then the next question is, how do you want this to reflect in your community, in your daily choices, in the conversations you have, in the way you educate, lead, love? These don't need to be grand movements. They can be subtle. You creating a moment of silence in the middle of an online meeting. You offering a word of care when someone least expects it. You showing up for nature, planting, tending, loving. These small gestures create a network of reverence. And this is the legacy that truly transforms. Imagine a wave of presence spreading from you to a few others. These people pass it on. Good behavior spreads. Kindness echoes. And the reverence you bring expands the axis of humanity. It is simple. It is silent. It is powerful. And it all begins with you now. You have already brought the 5 principles deep within yourself. You've experienced presence, reverence, roots, harmony, and transformation. You've allowed this to touch your closest relationships, your community, your purpose. Now, let's take a step further. Imagine that each of your gestures, even the smallest ones, carries the potential to transform not just one life, but many. And this potential is activated when you align intention, attention, action, legacy. 1. Choose the cause that resonates within you. I'm not talking about a vocational mission. I'm talking about something that moves you, even if it's small. It could be caring for nature near your home, teaching someone to listen with presence, cultivating honesty in your conversations. What matters? That it comes from the heart, that it is sincere. Hold this cause. Breathe. Say mentally, I commit to this today. This commitment is the seed of change, silent but steady. 2. Apply the principles to your engagement. Purity. Seek clarity in your intentions. Reverence. Listen to the cause with respect. Ancestry. Recognize that you carry forward an invisible stream. Harmony. Adjust your pace to the natural rhythm of what challenges you. Kiru. Allow yourself to be transformed as you act with purpose. Every detail matters. Every practice reflects presence. 3. Small steps, real impact. You can organize a small circle of presence. Do something daily with genuine intention, gratitude, shared silence, caring for a plant. Map out a more conscious routine in your work. It doesn't need to be grand. It needs quiet grace. And grace, as you already know, is born from presence. You live well when your purpose aligns with your values. And when that becomes visible, even subtly, the world responds. And the people around you begin to notice that there is beauty in presence, and they begin to live it too, slowly like water shaping stone. Today, you are someone new, not just because you listened, but because you experienced. Each principle planted in your day has begun to nourish a new way of being. And it is within this way that we will now recognize your new place in the world. You are the guardian of presence, someone who chose to look within, to revive what is natural in you, and to love the world with more clarity and intention. Look into your inner mirror and notice. Your breath, once rushed, now holds pauses. Your gaze, once scattered, now rests with reverence. Your gestures, once automatic, now carry presence. Each of these signs is an echo of what you chose to live. It's not just that you've walked 5 steps. It's that these steps revealed a new way of walking. You walk with clarity. You speak with care. You breathe with attention. You love with presence. You act with purpose. This way of walking is your new path, silent, refined, meaningful. Presence does not end with you. What you live now reverberates. And this is the time to choose how this echo will meet others. Where will you share your presence? Who can receive the reverence you now carry? What quiet gesture can become your gift to someone else? You can start small. A sincere message, an invitation, a respectful silence. This is the moment when you become a beacon, not to shine, but to present presence as a silent guide. What was born within can now touch what is outside. Take a deep breath, touch your chest, and mentally say, thank you for walking. Thank you for cleansing. Thank you for revering. Thank you for honoring. Thank you for harmonizing. Thank you for growing. Thank you for being here. Let these words settle in silence. Your transformation is not just personal. It is a way of being in the world. When silence becomes part of your gesture, wisdom stops being a concept and becomes a path. You no longer need to remember the 5 principles. They are already in your hands, in the way you look, in the rhythm of your day. They live within you, even when they're not being named. This is the moment when wisdom becomes practice, and practice becomes life. When you wake up, you no longer move on autopilot. You awaken with intention, with the care not to let anxiety occupy the first space. You cleanse with water. You revere with silence. You honor those who brought you here with a gesture of respect. You align with the harmony of the day, and you allow the flow of the new to begin. This is already a spiritual practice, even if no one sees it. Have you noticed that you don't need complex rituals? Shinto reminds us that the sacred lives in simplicity. A leaf touched with attention, an object cleaned with reverence, a silent moment of gratitude before a meal. Discipline here is not rigidity, it is quiet dedication. It is gently returning to what matters. You don't need to become someone new. You need to remember who you are. And this remembering is a continuous path, a returning inward whenever possible. Purity is cleansing the excesses of the ego. Reverence is seeing beauty even in pain. Ancestry is trusting that your journey is supported. Harmony is listening to the rhythm of things. Kiru is accepting that to grow is to change. If you live this once a day, you are already whole. Now, breathe with presence. Bring to mind the face of someone you love. Smile inwardly and say, "May I live with clarity, so I may also guide in silence. May I not teach, but embody. May I not force, but invite. May my presence be a refuge. May my listening be an embrace." Stay there for a few seconds. You're already living the path. And still, there is one last step. The final crossing. The space where everything you've lived so far comes down to a single decision. To sustain. You already know the principles. You've applied them. You've embodied them. Now comes the most challenging part, to sustain. To sustain is to continue even when the world speeds up. It's to protect your presence when the outside tries to steal it. It's to trust silence when everything out there is screaming. You need a place that reminds you of who you are. It could be a corner of your home, a lit candle, a cared-for plant, a sacred book, a silence journal. This is your living altar. There, you breathe with clarity and return to yourself. Instead of spiritual goals, create rhythms. Monday, conscious breathing upon waking. Wednesday, reverence for a landscape. Friday, shared silence with someone you love. Sunday, reflection on what flowed and what you can release. These small cycles keep your body and mind attuned to what's essential. Many times, words won't be enough. Not everyone will understand your silence, your lightness, your absence of hurry. That's okay. You don't need to convince anyone. Just live. When someone asks what changed, smile. You don't need to give answers. You are the answer. Close your eyes. Silently say, "May I not forget. May I return with gentleness. May I choose with wisdom. May I walk with lightness. May I live the sacred, even in ordinary days." True practice is silent, and you're already living it. You've arrived here, not by chance, but because you chose to walk a different path. Because you chose presence over haste. You chose reverence over indifference. You chose to honor your roots, to listen to the rhythm of life, to allow your transformation. Now it's time to celebrate, silently, with reverence and lightness. Imagine your hands joined over your heart. Imagine other hands far away doing the same, in another home, another country, perhaps in silence. Breathe together. Feel the collective pulse of this presence. You are not alone. You are part of something greater, a living network of presence, clarity, and reverence. Close your eyes, breathe, and mentally say, "Thank you for choosing clarity. Thank you for allowing silence to exist. Thank you for honoring the earth, the water, the air, and your own story. Thank you for allowing yourself to change. Thank you for being present." And let these words touch you deeply, as if they were spoken just for you. Some fires shine in silence. Some movements happen without an audience. But these are the fires that sustain the world. These are the gestures that keep the sacred alive, even in a fast-paced life. You have lit one of these fires. You have lived this. You are this fire. Here is the final invitation. Do not abandon the path. Do not reduce it. Keep it alive with small rhythms, gentleness, and presence. But before that, I want to hear from you. If this experience touched you, say, "I am presence." Leave your comment, share this video, and subscribe to the Axiom Sage channel so that this silent network can grow stronger. Breathe with nature. Breathe with your essence. Breathe with the world. You have arrived home. Timeless wisdom from the East to transform your mind and spirit.